I could do that.
Okay. I was
All
like,
right.
wait.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm not visible, but I'm here. For some reason, my camera is being a pain the last couple of weeks. So tonight we're going to look at each other's books that we created on the UDL Book Builder website and give each other some feedback on what we thought was great, what we thought might need a little bit of work. Um, Take all those suggestions and hopefully make our books awesome, and also talk about how we feel about the Book Builder website. Is it something that we might, use in the future in our classrooms? Is it something that you found frustrating or difficult? So a little bit of everything about the UDL books tonight. So, would anybody like to go first?
I can go first,
Okay.
and I'm going to include some clarifications of our questions from last week. So one of our questions last week was whether or not we had to make one book or multiple books, depending on the needs of our students. And what I had asked when I went and talked to Carrie was one book would work for most of my students, except for there is one student who has no verbal language, and so having that student response section, there's no way to build into that response section a way that that student can respond. So I asked her, I was like, do I have to make something entirely separate for this student, or would you just not use it with that student? And she said the goal of this lesson was to, as a professional, look at how you would use it in your class or modify it for your class. So in this case, I would most likely have some other form of response. Being that I chose the 5th graders, the excuse me, the girl with cerebral palsy and no augmented language, I would have either some sort of a like picture responses that they are used to using for like A, B, C, D, and provide that kind of a response structure instead of them having to give a verbal response or written response to each question. So that was one thing there. And then I know specifically with my book, excuse me, I was having some issues adding sound to it, but I would, for my kid with the visual impairment, I would add an audio track of the actual book, which is not on there right now. For some reason, there was an issue compressing the files, so that was another thing that I was asking Carrie, because the sites that the UDL Book Builder had to offer still supplied me with files that were too large to use in the Book Builder. So
Yes.
I was like, come on now. So anyways, that would be, in terms of our questions for consideration, that would be one thing that would deter me from using this site. I think it's a good concept, but unless you've used it a lot, it wouldn't be as easy to diversify for all your students, and it wouldn't be something you could just whip up and be like, oh yeah, I have to have this for tomorrow. Let me go ahead and make a book. Ta-da!
Right.
So unless it was something I had a lot of time to get in and learn how to use, I probably wouldn't use it. Especially because it would be, I think, a lot of work to try and explain to somebody else, because I know in some classes where you have kids on IEPs and whatnot, you have assistants in there or specialists working with them on specific things. So to then take the book you've written and then write out exactly the modification for each kid and what you've supplied and prepare all of those added materials, I think that might be more than if you had prepared the lesson a different way. I don't know. I think if it was something I could get right on and use really quickly, I would probably use it. But I think there's so many other resources that are more user-friendly that I would probably use them instead.
Kind of my thinking too.
Yeah, it was a little confusing at first to figure out how to, and then how to, you would edit stuff, and I didn't realize that there was the save button and that you had to push the save button in order for it to actually save, and so I kept on going, where's all the stuff that I just typed? And it was so, and I also tried, same as you, Katie, with the audio, and I clicked on one of the sites that the UDL site gave you, and I thought, okay, this looks entirely too complicated. I'm just going to go ahead and bypass this. So yeah, I agree. I don't know that it's something I would use maybe like once or twice in the classroom, but it wouldn't be something that was a frequently.
Yeah, I might use it more for students like reading books on it because that was easier for me, but as far as making books, it was, I don't know, I'm getting really confused.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, and I think depending on what grade it was, like I had 5th graders, and I could definitely see, kind of like I was talking about last week, I could see actually having them use it as a way to, have a fun way to respond to an experience, or to do like a journal write in a fun way, like let's say you went on a field trip. That's kind of what I was basing my book around, was our trip to the museum. So it was supposed to be a kid their age who was just talking about the cool things they saw at the museum. So, if you were saying, okay, tell me about 3 great things, and let's say you had brought a digital camera with you on the field trip. I know there's several teachers that I've worked with who use digital cameras all the time and let kids import those photos and put them in their work so that they can have that there. So that would be a really cool way to integrate those things and say, okay, here's the picture of that thing you really wanted to talk about. Now tell me about it, and let's see if you can ask a question for your friends. That I could totally see doing, but I'm not sure using it specifically to teach a skill. I don't think I would be as adept that way, if that makes sense.
Yes. That makes sense. Go ahead.
Oh, I wasn't going to say anything.
Okay. Does anybody else have anything they want to add to the conversation about that?
Claire, would you use it in the classroom?
I don't know. I like what you said about having the students use it. Well, my class was the 2nd graders, so I don't think that's, I don't know. I guess they could, but it might be a little bit harder. But to be honest, I didn't really like it. It was really hard to use for me. Like, you have to import everything and then add it in and then all this other. I thought it would just be something like easy, like easy to work with, but it was a lot harder for me. So I disagree with all what you guys said.
I have a random question. Are all of us Mac users?
Yes.
Well, it's not to say anything about Mac users. I'm just curious if that's part of our struggle, because Mac does all that for us.
True.
Like, I've had this argument with my husband. When he wants to do something, he goes in and he types it in and he programs it and he goes from here and here and here. I wonder if it would be easier for a PC user to use this site than it is for us.
I don't know because there like when I had a few minutes at work, I would go on and we have PCs at work, and even then it was still. It's not okay. I will have to say it's not as bad because I don't know. It's not. I don't know. I can't explain it, but it was still. I still ran into the same issues that I was having even with the Mac. Of course, I prefer a Mac over a PC, but I'm just saying.
Well, I know a lot of the issues I had was that images and or music that I was trying to, or audio that I was trying to put into the book, either A, wasn't compatible, because music had to be MP3 instead of MP4, but all things that are imported into iTunes are imported as MP4.
Yep.
So you had to either find a converter or find it. And they also keep any media, pictures, video, whatever, at a higher, it makes files bigger for some reason. And I don't know why that is, whether it's photo quality or just the way that Mac stores things, but it wouldn't let me import certain pictures because they were too large. And I didn't have that problem on my husband's computer for some reason.
So interesting.
I'm curious how many of the issues I was having were because I was on a Mac and they just don't play nice together. And who knows? But just a thought. Good stuff.
Yeah. So, sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to ask, so I don't like the way that my book turned out because my picture and the words are on the top half of the page and then the rest of it is just white. Do you know if
Mine was doing that too. And I couldn't, I was trying to, enlarge the pictures, and then I just gave up on pictures and decided I would do pictures later because it was taking me, an hour to do, pictures.
That was the hardest part.
Yeah, I couldn't figure it out.
So you cut out a little bit there. Did you say you couldn't get it in any other format besides pictures on top, words on bottom?
Well, no, I was saying that, the pictures and the words are only on half of the page, and then the rest of the half is just white.
You can't expand the picture.
Yeah.
Or crop it or make it bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was running into.
I switched mine to landscape instead, and then I made the font the biggest that it could go. That helped to fill and I did second grade too, so I thought, okay, well the bigger font might be a little bit better for the littler kids. But that's what because my first page on my book looks awful because the picture's teeny tiny and the font is teeny tiny and then there's just 3/4 of the page it's annoying. To say the least, annoying. So yeah. I thought your book was really cute, Claire. I was just reading it right now. That's such a cute story.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, no, it was super adorable.
Yeah, I did. I really liked it. I thought it was cute.
Thank you.
And creative, I think. Now I'm looking at mine going, geez, I only did 7 pages and they were not even that great.
Yeah, mine is only, I think, 6 pages long.
Yeah.
But I put more words on mine, I think. I think I did several sentences per page. Because, again, 5th grade, I was thinking, okay, hopefully by this point we can handle this. And my ideal setting is that this is a classroom where they're used to learning the vocabulary beforehand, before they read something, so front-loading all of that, and then having them read a text, interact with it, and then testing their comprehension afterwards, which is in one of the literacy classes that I'm teaching in, that is how it's set up to work. So, the first day of a new selection from the book, they learn all the vocabulary and they go over all of it. And then they read the selection and all those vocab words are highlighted. And then they go back and they answer questions about the book
Mhm.
after they've already learned all that. So in mine, I like highlighted the words, and I am working on entering the definitions into the glossary. But that was the idea, is that if they didn't remember, they could, click on it and get the definition, but they would have already learned that vocab. So to make those sentences make sense, I figured it was okay to have them be a little longer per page. I don't know.
Yeah, I
Stab in the
discovered that I should not be a children's.
Where'd she go?
I don't know. A children's something. There you are. She's moving again.
You were frozen.
Shouldn't be a children's what?
What? Wait, what did you? You guys all froze, and I didn't hear what you said.
You froze as well. And so we left you off at, you decided you shouldn't be a children's.
Oh, I shouldn't be a children's author for children's books at all.
Gotcha.
Mine was only 8 pages, but it was just, I was trying to match it to the standards, and then it was just bad.
It was a tough task to
Yeah.
kind of come up with your own story and make it, with I chose the same standard as Claire, and so you're like, okay, well, let me think of a story that can go with that standard, and then I changed mine, and then I changed the pictures because they didn't match, and it was quite a process. Like I said,
Yeah.
I definitely have like a greater appreciation for children's book writers that seem so simple, and then now that I've done it myself, I'm like, oh, it's not.
yes,
I agree.
Yeah.
Okay, I can't find Emmylou's and Katie's on here.
So mine is called My Trip to the Museum. And let me see if I can get into it and look at it really quick.
For some reason,
Fingers crossed.
I made it public, and I'm trying to use this the app Katie was telling me about, but I'm not figuring it out.
Okay, so Emmylou,
Yeah.
you selected Unarchiver when you clicked on the zip drive, right? On the zip file. Did you download the zip file?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying.
Okay,
Right
so
now.
stop, because if you've done it multiple times, you're making copies on your hard drive.
Oh.
It's doing it, but you just aren't seeing it. So it's okay. Just go into your hard drive.
Okay.
And which one did you just try and download? Mine or somebody else's?
I was trying to download Claire's.
Okay, so what is it called again? Greta or something like that? What's your cat's name?
Greta's Adventure.
Okay, so search Greta.
Okay.
And you'll probably see several that all say like Greta's Adventure 1, 2, 3, 5, 7. Yes?
Yes. Hang
Okay,
on.
so click on one of them. Double click it, whatever.
Okay.
And it'll pop up and you'll see a whole bunch of little files that say HTML, 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 yeah?
Yeah, I have all those.
Scroll all the way to the bottom.
Okay.
And it says Start HTML.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Double click on that. And you will be able to read her book. It will take you to her book.
It's not opening.
If you go on the so if you go on the website where your book is, and you go into where it says edit and create, save, edit, all that. If right underneath your title there's share, publish, my rating, tags. If you click the share, you can type in our email addresses. That's how I shared it with you guys, and then you can see the book that way. At least for right now, that's what I found easiest. I don't know if that's.
Yeah, that's what I did too.
Yeah, that's how I was able to look at Claire's as well.
Yeah.
I saw that and I was like, I'm gonna click on this just to see what it is, and it's like, oh wow, that's way nicer than trying to do the zip drive thingy.
It's the easiest thing about this website.
Yes.
I can't even figure out how to do that. Oh my god.
Well, and
Other
I mean,
idea. Okay.
I just shared mine with you too, so
Okay.
you can see how that works as well. Because it's just Emmylou Lopez at Boise State, right?
Yeah. And then it's Katie Downs at u.boise State.
boisestate.edu. That's me.
And then Claire.
He's gonna. Okay. And I just shared it with Claire too, so
Okay.
hopefully you receive that sooner than later.
Yep.
Cool.
I got it.
I haven't gotten one from Nicole.
You didn't get one?
I only have one shared book, and it's from Claire.
Oops. Okay. I will send it right now.
Yeah, and I just refreshed it too. And I didn't see one from Emmylou either, which is weird.
Yeah, I just sent one to you, Katie. Because for some reason it wouldn't let me do multiple.
Oh, there's Emmylou. There's Claire. So I'm just waiting on Nicole. But it should be there, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think I
Hey,
just
look, there she is. Ta-da! I have all three of your books.
sent it. Okay, I don't have. Let's see. Let me refresh.
Okay, I just
I don't
sent
have-
Nicole's.
Okay, I don't have yours, Katie. There's. Wait. Nope. I got Emily's.
Nicole, can you respell your last name for me?
Yes, Romero.
Okay. And it's with an E, right? Nicole with an E?
Yeah, Nichole.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yes.
Try that again.
Okay. I know. Sometimes my name is tricky. There it is. Got it.
Ta-da! Hey, we all have each other's books. Yay! So, I did see Claire's the other day going through the whole opening the zip file thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I know we're supposed to include our comments as part of the discussion as well. I think the biggest thing I would comment on is just the pace. Like, you did a really good job of enunciating and being very clear with the audio, your spoken text.
Oh, the audio. Okay.
But it was super slow, especially at the beginning.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. I was like, if I was a second grader, I would think the computer was broken. And that's not being mean. It's just you picked up in the middle. You got faster in the middle. But the beginning, it was like you were trying to focus on being clear and going along with it. And so it was really slow. I was like,
that's so weird. I didn't even notice that. That's so weird, but that's good to know.
Yeah, no, I would just rewatch it maybe and look at it again and be like, okay.
Okay. It's good to know. Thank you.
And maybe I just talk really fast. I don't know. There's that too.
Yeah. Yeah, I really liked your story, Claire. I thought it was a really good one.
Yeah, me too.
Thank you.
But maybe changing the instead of portrait to landscape might help with the, like you
And
said,
maybe
how it
like
was
a
bugging you that half the page was, yeah, and a bigger font. See if that
okay.
will, like, play around with it a little bit, and then
Yeah.
yeah, because that's what I had to do,
Okay.
because I was having this problem. So yeah, I
Okay.
definitely. But yeah, like I said, I really liked your story. It was good.
Thank you.
So yeah,
For some reason, I can't
I'm
open
looking at yours, Katie.
You're looking at mine.
Yes, I
Have
am.
fun.
I mean, Lou, I'll reshare it with.
Okay.
No, I like your pictures are really cool that go along with the story
Yeah,
because
that's what I
they're.
was thinking. I have Katie's opened up now too.
Well, and I don't know if I got a chance to put it in there. I know I've started working on it again, but in the copy you guys have, the standard I was going for, and I'm gonna include a page like one of the examples I had from last week. The teacher's first page of the book was the standard and the learning outcomes and everything like broken down for the book on the page.
Mhm.
So that's kind of what I was hoping to do. But the standard I was going for was write narratives to develop real or imagined experiences or events using effective technique, descriptive details, and clear event sequences. So I tried to use like the temporal language, like the first, next, last, blah, 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 as well as some descriptive details about what was seen. Again, I was trying to write it like a kid that had written it, like an example. So that was kind of what I was going for.
Yeah, I like the history.
Yeah.
That it's a history one.
I really like the, I don't know what to call them, but the little guys on the bottom.
Oh, the
Like, I
helpers.
don't know.
The buddies
Yeah.
are there. Yeah.
Yeah. I really like the questions that you used because it's like, it's not especially that you can find directly in there. It's kind of like you have to interpret it, which is makes them think critically about this stuff. I had to think about some of it, like I don't know why, you know.
Yeah, I was trying to incorporate some of the inference type
Yeah,
questions.
yeah, I really like that.
And in the second grade class, most of the case study kids, they're fully able to understand. They don't have any cognitive impairments, more language impairments, except for the one girl with cerebral palsy, who, again, from what I read, she doesn't necessarily have anything drastic in terms of her ability to understand. It's just her ability to communicate. So I felt like they would be able to handle the less obvious questions. The modifications would be more in how they answer. So whether it's with text to speech, or sorry, speech to text software, or the pictures like I was talking about, or something like that, those would be more the modifications than the book itself.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. 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 I like yours as well, Katie. I like you have really good questions at the bottom for the buddies that help. I like that, and I like that you have the response box. Like you said, it's good for the older kids to, you know, especially because they've started taking ISAT. It's good to have those constructive responses to go along with the questions, and so I don't know, I liked it.
Well, and I feel like even in 5th grade, if you were doing this as a comprehension activity, you would generally, hopefully, have someone there, administering this in some way. So you would have someone there able to judge their responses versus just judge their ability to put it in. That's kind of my own personal rant with computerized testing, is it's not about can you answer the question, it's can you work the computer and get it in and type it. So anyway, my hope would be that someone would be there, you know, and that is one thing I liked about this program, is with those little buddies at the bottom, you have the ability to modify the questions, you know, from your full question to more direct to, hey, here's the answer we're looking for. Let's restate the question and see if you understand it after it's been restated. I do really like that, because if you didn't have another body, at least they're able to access more than one version of a question. So if they don't understand it, they can get in there and try and figure it out instead of just rereading 5 times and still not getting it.
Yep.
I really like yours, Nicole, too. My mom's name is Anne, so.
Oh. Well, that's good. That's a plus then.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was.
Yeah.
The one thing I don't like about I'll say what I don't like about my book is I don't like all my pictures because I used clip art and it's hard to find the same looking kid in this for all the pictures.
Yeah.
And so that's one thing I don't like about my book.
That's why I was getting frustrated with mine and gave up on pictures. I found all these pictures, and then I wasn't getting them in, and then I was trying to do the audio. I was just having really technological issues.
Yeah.
The
Back to our
pictures for
favorite
me.
technological issues.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I was looking at yours, Emmylou, and you have a good story. Just the pictures but I can understand the frustration on that. Yes. Yeah. And the audio. I would have loved to have my initial goal was to have one of my daughters read the book. So it was like in a but because I was, having converting it's MP3 and that with the iTunes with the Mac, that was where I was having issues. So frustrating. Yes. So yeah. Any other?
Nicole, you said you were doing the 2nd grade class, yeah?
Yes.
I really liked your story on, I think it's, sorry, I was just looking at it. I think it's page 5 or 6. It's page 6.
Is it the one with the 2 columns of writing? Too much?
Sorry. I'm hearing something in the background and it's really distracting and confusing. It sounds like a cartoon. I'm like, what is going on?
Sorry, it's my daughter.
It's okay.
Right next to me. Yeah.
It was just really loud. I was like, what? Is that my computer? What's going on?
I thought it was mine. Uh-oh.
Well, it's Bob's Burgers, so sorry.
No, it's okay. So on page 6, I don't think it's too much text, but I think having it in 2 columns is confusing. I would have it continue left to right, left to right, left to right, all the way across, just because, especially with how little space is between the 2 columns, if you have a kid who doesn't have an excellent grasp of the concepts of print or is still struggling with that, they're going to jump that gap and be way confused.
Right. Okay. I'm glad you said that because I was a little like, when I saw it, and so I'm glad you gave me that feedback.
Like I said, I don't think it's too much on the page. I just think it's a form issue.
Okay. Perfect.
And what was the standard you were going for? Just curious.
It's the same one as Claire's, recounting a story. Um, and I want to add that in, just like similar to Claire's and what you had talked about, Katie, about adding that page in of having the standard of, what the book and the story follows. So that's something else I want to fix about it.
Me too. I was
Yeah.
wondering that when she said to add in to let her know what standard you're doing, I was wondering where we were supposed to do that, but I guess just in
Well,
the.
you can add, when you look at the layouts of possible pages, there's an all text page. And so
Oh.
you can choose just all text and have that be your formal page, like opening the book. Here's the page for teachers. Let's start the book. Ta-da!
Oh, yeah. I didn't even see that. Okay.
Yeah, and it lets you just add the page before, so you
Yeah.
don't have to go through and do a bunch of stuff. I think just, and this is, again, my personal preference, when I'm doing stuff with the standards, I try and be super specific. So if it was the recounting the stories and determining their central message, lesson, or moral, I would just almost even point blanket at the end of the story say, the moral of the story is, just to kind of put forward, hey, this story is supposed to be going somewhere. Hey, look, here's where it went. Yay.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I think that's the only thing. And I was specifically talking to Nicole on that. Sorry.
Yeah.
I
No,
realized
that's okay.
I didn't go on with that because she overcomes her fear at the end, which is great. But I would just say, one bad experience doesn't mean it has to be bad forever, or something that says that.
Right.
Because if that's what they're supposed to be learning how to do, giving them an example of that would help, I think. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. No. I like that feedback. Thank you. And it makes sense.
It makes
Funny how that happens.
Let's see.
Okay. Sorry, I was jotting a couple notes down.
How dare you? You have to remember every single word verbatim.
I know.
Without
Well,
a single note.
if I don't copy or like write something down now, tomorrow I'll go, wait a minute, and
What
then
was
I'll have
that?
to rewatch. It's just as you get older, those things just escape your mind.
Oh, tell me about it. I feel you. Oh, good stuff.
Yes. So, is there anything else anybody wants to add?
I think so.
I
Okay.
don't think so much. I think my only other thing is, at least for me, and I think I'm the only one who did the 5th grade, but so I'm not as familiar with the 2nd grade case study yet as I probably should be, but at least for mine, I would be doing, what's it called? When you have other materials that go with a book. They are supplemental.
Supplemental. There you go. Yes.
I'm like, what's the word? So I think for mine, I would probably do like that all text page or whatever and do some sort of supplementary material and just include it and say, hey, But I don't know if I should put the case study student's name, like response kit for blah, 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 like Jennifer, or if I should say, for students with no verbal language, try using this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, are we supposed to be creating like this universal thing just keeping these kids in mind? Or is it specifically these students and that's the only thing we're thinking about? I think that's my only question.
I think the making it more general, like you said, the second, instead of saying for a specific student, maybe making it a little bit more general, like you said, for students with nonverbal or verbal, might be like a better, I don't know what I want to say, a better approach, I guess, so then it can be used with other students, not just for Jennifer or whatever. I think that's,
Yeah. Okay.
that's just my opinion.
Oh, I do not have any opinion of my own at this moment. I was just like, so what should I do here? Please give me information. Anybody.
Yes, yes, anybody, please.
Yeah.
So, okay, well, if everybody's good, then I guess we could call it a night. And hopefully we can make it through this book and move on to next week.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, ladies. Good luck
I
the
think-
rest of the week, and then Katie, do you want to post the link, or would you like me to post the link?
Why don't you do it? Because my brain's a
Okay.
little gonzo right now, and I don't want to forget.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Alrighty. I will do that, and then we'll just see everybody next Thursday.
Okay.
Okay, sounds good.
Bye.
All right.
Bye.
Night, ladies.
Bye.
Night.
Right.